for tuning into today's video. The guys are in Cran-sur-Sierre this week, hitting the ball a thundering mile because the altitude and the thin air and so forth. So I just got curious. Trackman lets me play around with altitude and temperatures and that. So I don't know, I hope you can see in the background. I've got it set here for Dublin conditions, so 279 feet above sea level, which is because we're quite low here obviously. And I've got it on today's temperature, 63 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 17 degrees Celsius. And I'm going to hit some balls with my 8 iron and my 6 iron. I'm going to see where they go, and then I'm going to flip those over to replicate Cran-sur-Sierre, which is like nearly 5,000 feet above sea level. Strangely, they're getting the same kind of temperature as us, but the difference is going to be in the air conditions, and Trackman's going to replicate that. So we're going to have a bash and see how we go. Let's go on it, guys. So that's the 8 iron done. Dublin conditions. You can see they're all sitting in kind of 154, 155 is the average. Gonna have a go now with the 6 iron. So 8 iron done, 6 iron next. See what kind of number we produce there. Let's have a go. So Dublin 6 iron done, and they're running in around 175 carry, which I'd be very pleased with if I'm being totally honest. So now we're going to flip it over to Cran-sur-Sierre altitude and temperature and see what those clubs do. Have a go. So now, hopefully you can see here on the screen, I've set up for Cran-sur-Sierre. I've got 4,920 feet of altitude. So comparing that to the 275 from Dublin, massive difference. Temperature is nearly the same. So it was 62 in Dublin, 63 in Cran-sur today. So let's see if the altitude has a real effect on how far that ball flies. Let's give it a whack. So 15 yards further on Cran-sur-Sierre altitude than on Dublin. I'll be totally honest, guys, I didn't even hit the thing that well, and I still got an extra 15. Like, I got one of them out there 18 yards further than anything I'd been hitting on the Dublin altitude. I cannot wait to try the 6 iron and see if I can jump that yardage gap even further. Let's have a look at it. This is cool. I might leave this thing on Cran-sur-Sierre all the time. The 6 iron there went from 175 in Dublin conditions to about 195. Some of them almost touching off 200 when I set it to Cran-sur-Sierre altitude. So like, there's massive differences between one area and the other area. How these guys on tour adapt from country to country, setting to setting, and altitude to altitude must be really tough. Now, I know what you're going to say. They hit the ball, it goes a distance, they mark it, and they've got it. They don't have to worry. And I agree. Full swing, you know your number once you've done your job on Monday. What about the half swing? What about that little 3/4 wedge? How do you judge the distance on those pitch shots when the altitude is changing, when the ball is just coasting through what little bit of air there is? How do you manage to breathe? When you're walking up and down the hills of the golf course on the final day and you're already physically and mentally and emotionally tired and drained, how do you find that extra bit? Because there's no oxygen up here, boys and girls. This is tough to breathe in, as well as the benefits of the ball going further. So when you see these guys, and typically when they go to Crans, they rip it up. I mean, they shoot phenomenal scores. Next time you're looking at it, have a look at how they control their distance with the 1/2 and 3/4 shots, because that's going to be so difficult. Those field shots into the green have to be extremely difficult to control, and the guys are doing it. I hope you've enjoyed this little video. I hope it gives you an insight into how things change from week to week when the guys are on tour, and maybe how they work it out in advance. Maybe they have their numbers on Trackman 2 or 3 weeks before they go to Crans, and then they're able to adjust a little bit easier. We'll talk to you again real soon. Take care of yourself, guys.